Welcome back to another episode of Henderson Equipment. Today we're going to do a toolbox review of this, the Rapid Box made by PowerBilt. Before we get into reviewing the Rapid Box, I want to show you guys what my current setup is on my service truck. Now, I've been building and customizing my own service truck to fit my needs, and when I first decided to put a toolbox on my truck, to be honest with you, I didn't really know what I wanted. And you know, when you go out on service calls and you do things quick and you do things efficient, you kind of want to set your toolbox up to be as efficient as possible. Now, this toolbox here, this is a Husky toolbox. It's a stator toolbox you would see in many different garages and homeowner garages. It's a basic, you know, it's not serious heavy duty, it's just a basic toolbox. I got this toolbox at a flea market. I think I paid like 40 bucks for it, and I was thrilled to get it, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to throw this on the bed and see how it works. And to be honest with you, it's worked out fairly well for me. It's been a great starter box. But I beat the hell out of it, and it is just not holding up, and nor is it efficient enough for the needs that I am looking for. So let's dive into this little box and see how it's currently set up. And when I pop open the lid here, you can see I have my socket rails, and then I have some bigger sockets, some trays, and my quick tools and stuff like that. But really, this is just for my sockets. A thing that I have learned, and I put these plastic socket trays in, but when I go over bumps and if I'm getting rowdy, you know, I end up breaking posts off or the sockets go flying, and you can see some of my sockets got rust and stuff. This toolbox is not weatherproof, and it's not made to be weatherproof. Believe it or not, it's held up well to the rain and stuff, but it's just not designed for it. Going into the first drawer, this is like my fast, quick attach drawer. And I got a bunch of miscellaneous tools in here. Again, you know, it's nice, but when you're bouncing around like this little mat, it shakes shit everywhere. I also I like having my magnetic tray here, but my tools get stuck by the magnet, so you know, it's not ideal. And then also from bumping, you know, one of the welds broke, so I have to lift up and then close in my drawer. This drawer here, you know, this has got like probably my secondary primary tools, all my hand tools that I use. You know, I got picks, I got, you know, miscellaneous Allen and star bits. You know, I got different socket adapters, and then screwdrivers, hammers, etc. This is my electrical repair drawer. It's my common drawer for really any electrical repairs or electrical testing. This is my wrench drawer. I put magnets here to help prevent the wrenches from bouncing, but you know, when you're driving, they just bounce anyway. Last but not least is my power tools, probably arguably the most valuable drawer. But yeah, I'm able to fit all my power tools in here. So again, this has been a great little starter box for myself. I got literally no money in this box, so yeah, I can't complain too much, but it is time for me to move on and get something a little more stronger and more efficient for the type of work that I do. Now, for upgrading, I wanted something compact, just like this guy, but I needed it to be much more durable, efficient, and weather resistant. So with those factors in mind, I decided to go with a triangle box. Now, in the triangle toolbox market, there's really only a few manufacturers out there that make these, and probably the most popular one is the Moctezuma toolbox. That's a very common one. They sell them at Tractor Supply. There's also the Tool Vault triangle toolbox. John Deere actually has their own version of a triangle toolbox, but man, it looks almost identical to a Moctezuma toolbox, so it's probably just rebadged. And then there's the Rapid Box by PowerBilt. After doing all my research and then going to stores and looking at the different toolboxes that they sell, I decided that what I felt was the best option for me was the Rapid Box made by PowerBilt. The biggest thing that attracted me to this PowerBilt Toolbox was its weight. And no, it's not lighter, it's heavier, and I mean way heavier than the competitor toolboxes. The dry weight of this box is 85 pounds. Think about that, 85 pounds, that's heavy. So why would I want a heavy, big heavy toolbox? Honestly, because I'm gonna be beating the hell out of it. And it's gonna be sitting on the back of my truck. It needs to take abuse. I'm gonna bang it and hit it in times when I don't mean to. And I want something that's gonna last. So, you know, to the closest competitor, you know, that has the similar dimensions and size, you know, you're talking about 50, 55 pounds, where this one's 85 pounds. So think about that, 30 extra pounds of steel in this toolbox. I like that. The other thing I like about this toolbox, and it's hard to tell online, but when I was in person looking at some of these other boxes, I wasn't a big fan of the opening mechanism nor the lock. It just, I think it could have been a little better. And you know, pictures are tough online, it's hard to judge, but after getting this box and playing with it, I really like this opening mechanism and the lock mechanism. You know, it's very heavy, this is spring loaded, it's chromed out. There's a nice weatherproof gasket underneath here, so it protects from water getting into the toolbox. So I'm really pleased. It was a bit of a gamble, but I'm really pleased with that as well. The other thing I liked about this toolbox was these spring-loaded latches. So, well, what's the big deal? Now, the Montezuma ones have like fixed latches, and I think the Tool Vault one has handle latches like this. I don't think they're spring-loaded, but these are spring-loaded. So why do I like this better? Well, one, I don't want a handle sticking out. I want it flush as possible. And what's nice about the spring-loaded thing, a non-spring load handle is just going to jump up and smack down, and I don't want to hear that. So having this spring-loaded, staying down, you know, it's a small little win for me. PowerBilt was the only toolbox I could find that has this plastic cover, and this plastic cover attaches to the steel door. You know, and plastic is softer than metal, obviously. But what's nice about this is, one, it looks cool. It doesn't get as hot as like steel. You know, like this is hot, where this isn't as hot. So that's nice. Also, I didn't buy this option because I wasn't too sure if I would want it. But they have these little fittings here, these cutouts where you can install magnets if you want to, you know, have a quick magnet attachment. I personally didn't think I needed that because I'm going to be traveling, and I mean, if I got a wrench holding on there while I'm traveling, you know, shame on me. So I didn't go with that option, but it is a nice little option within itself. So let's open this box up and get into it. So it opens really smooth. It has this really strong air ram here, which is nice. It stays open, and I mean, it's strong. You know, it's definitely stronger than the Montezuma ones. The latch mechanism seems just fine. I don't really foresee any issues there. I would love to see it made out of stainless. It's not. It's zinc plated. So I know I'm going to be lubing this up because I don't want any hiccups. So that's one thing, an area that I could see for improvement. But when I'm looking at this, it's everything's steel, and it's thick gauge steel. It's not too cheap. The welds look pretty good. You know, the welds on the whole box look good. The roof of the box has this nice heavy-duty gasket. That's what I want. You know, I don't want rain, snow, or any bullshit leaking in here. So tools are an investment, and you want to protect them as much as possible. So that's a huge plus. And yeah, I mean, they have all of these wrench rails here. They have your socket rails here. A lot of socket rails. Nice little cubby component. You know, another compartment here. You have this big deck under here to put whatever you want. And then, yeah, you have this rail here, which is more for sockets, which I would think is more for sockets. These are probably like your go-to sockets. And yeah, if I wanted to, you know, take my go sockets out to a job, I can remove this whole panel and take it to a job. And underneath this, you have all of these compartments for any knickknacks or whatever else you want to put there. So, and even this little rail is made heavy. I mean, look how thick it is. You know, this little thing's heavy. So, interested to try it out. I hope it holds all my tools. But yeah, let's install it and try it out. So I just emptied that toolbox, and look at all this stuff I got. You never really know how much stuff you have until you start organizing and cleaning up. And man, I fit all of this crap in that toolbox. I'm actually nervous. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit all this stuff into the PowerBilt box. I might have to remove some things. Yeah, I might have to consolidate here. But man, I use just about all this stuff that you see here, so man, I don't know. Got clearance. I think that'll be good. Yeah, that should do it. Let's fasten it and see if I can get the tools in there. So there's good and there's bad news. The bad news is that I was not able to fit everything into the Rapid box the way I initially wanted to. The good news is that it forced me to consolidate and really keep the things that I truly need for the jobs at hand. So the box is installed. I put my magnetic trays on the side. I think they're going to hold while I'm traveling. I don't think they're really going to bounce too much, but we'll see. Maybe if you see one flying on the highway, you know it's mine. But overall, I think it's sleek. It does work just fine. It's small. I mean, it is a smaller than average toolbox. So let's pop it open and see what it looks like inside. So inside, yeah, I fit a lot of stuff. No doubt about it. Start from the back, I got my wrenches installed. I put my standard on the bottom and then metric up top. Over here, I put like a lot of my quick tools that I'm going to use. So like a lot of my screwdrivers, pry bars, and then wrenches, extensions, stuff like that. I got to add a few more of my 1/4 inch extensions. I got a socket tray here. This is like my short 1/2 inch. Here I got short 1/2 inch. And then I got my taller 1/2 inch on the bottom here. I got my crow's foot and some of the dog bones there. Nice little pocket for like my primary quick use tools, and then some of the stuff that I don't use all the time I tucked back in under here. So it is a little crammed under here, no doubt about it. But I don't use like the stuff tucked back in here. Like I got a bunch of tools and stuff tucked back in there. That stuff I don't use that often. But when the time comes that I do use it, yeah, I'm gonna have to pull some shit out and get to it. So if you notice, I got my 1/4 inch rails tucked in here. So I know most people use 3/8 drive sockets. I personally do not. I really only use 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. I deal a lot with tractors, and so I'm always using 1/2 inch sockets. And if I have to do something smaller, I'm using 1/4 inch. So I eliminated 3/8 out of my queue pretty much. I have it in my standard toolbox in the shop, but on the field, I really only deal with 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. Now this toolbox is really meant for 3/8 inch sockets and 1/2 inch. I don't think it's made primarily for 1/4 inch sockets, because I struggled trying to get these 1/4 inch rails to work. You know, this rail here was very close, and you could accommodate a decent amount of 1/4 inch sockets, but I got some real tiny ones and it wouldn't work. I was hoping to do like the 1/2 inch deeps up here, but the toolbox wouldn't close. So that's one thing I noticed. So I had to cut it down. I had to do all of my shorty sockets up here, and my bigger shorties are down here, and then these are the long ones. So here are standard, that's metric, and then I got metric and standard here, and then these are some bigger metric ones. Nice way to hang my crow's foot and my dog bones. That worked really well. Really pleased with that. And yeah, you know, like I put my little belt clip knife up here and my tape measure there. So, you know, the little hidden compartment under here, this is handy. It's not made for like these bigger sockets though, in my opinion, because I have to do like some finagling in order for this to work. So that is like a bit of a pain in the ass. But having these hidden compartments here is nice, because I don't use this stuff on a daily basis. But when I need it, I need it. So it's cool to have it tucked in down there. And yeah, if I need to get like some of my things, pretty much just reach out and grab whatever I need. So that's cool. It's one cabinet, you know, it's not like multiple drawers, so everything's open to you. So overall, I'm really pleased with this toolbox. It's a huge upgrade from where I came from, and all my tools are readily available. I mean, I open up one door and I got all my tools at my expense. It's perfect. I really love how the wrenches are lined up. I love the availability of just pulling my sockets. You know, everything is quick and easy. I don't have to open up one drawer for one thing, another drawer for another thing. You know, everything's right here. I love the fact that this is a lockable toolbox. It's got a great weather seal, so I am really anxious to give this toolbox a shot. I got a service call in 2 days, so I look forward to using it on that job. I don't know if I have it set up perfectly. You know, I put it in here. I think I got it set up the way I'd like it, but time will tell, and if I have to change something, so be it. A couple areas for improvement, I would say, is for heavier equipment guys or big tractor guys like myself. I would like to see better socket rail space for heavier sockets. This toolbox is likely set up for like 3/8 inch sockets and 1/4 inch sockets, but it doesn't do well with small 1/4 inch sockets, and nor does it do well with bigger 1/2 inch sockets. I made it work. It's going to work fine for me, and if you are a guy that uses 3/8 inch sockets, it's perfect for you. So that's why I included my 1/4 inch socket rails, and I put like some of my bigger stuff on the bottom here. But that's really my only gripe with it. But time will tell. We'll give it a shot and see how it goes. But yeah, that's this review on the Rapid Box by PowerBilt. See you next time.